Hello my yarny friends, I'm Sara Sach. Welcome back to my crochet channel. Today's video is the fall leaf granny coaster or square. It's a 4x4 inch square. You can use them as a coaster or you can put them together and make lots of different things. Table runners, hats, bags, whatever you want to do with them. And the stitch here is what we talked about on our this and that video this week. This is a 5 stitches in order to make that leaf cluster. All right. And if you watched that video, I showed you kind of what we're doing, but don't worry. I will show it to you again, and you'll see that it's really a beautiful and easy stitch. I love it. I think it's beautiful, and I think it makes a fun square, whether you're going to use it as a coaster or for something else. And like I said, it's a 4x4 inch square, and you can see it's really not hard at all, but it is rather beautiful, I think. I do want to apologize for my voice. I'm fighting a cold, but I still wanted to get our Friday Fun Day video out so that you guys could have something fun to work on. And this is just a super fun project. All right, now you can find the complete pattern with pictures. As always, I'll put that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. So what you're going to need is just a small amount, not even an ounce, maybe a ½ ounce, of 2 different color yarns. Now I used all cotton yarns. Some of these are peaches and cream, like this yellow one here. Some of them are the Premier Home Cotton. Some of them are the cotton from Hobby Lobby. You can use any cotton that you want. And in reality, if you're going to make this into, say, a pillowcase or a blanket or anything else, you can use any medium weight number 4 yarn, acrylic, wool, whatever that you want to, as long as it's a medium weight number 4 yarn. But since I'm making coasters today, I'm doing them all in different colors of cotton yarn. I'm going to do the body of my coaster in this beige, and then I'm going to do my leaves in this sort of rusty red. It's called bruschetta, and this one is called khaki. I like them a lot. Okay, we're going to be stitching today with our H hook, which is a 5mm crochet hook. You need a needle for weaving in ends and a pair of scissors. So to begin, we're basically doing a granny square for the first 3 rows. All right, so we're going to make our slip knot. We're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll join this chain 5 into a circle. And we'll tie that stay knot. Now, if you prefer to do a different sort of circle, like the magic ring or magic circle, it's totally fine. All right, so we're going to go in, we're going to pull up a loop and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. This chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. We're going to stitch 2 more. Whoops, let's try that again. There we go. 1 and 2. And chain 2. So our chain 3 counts as a double crochet. So we have 3 double crochet, chain 2. All right, so 1, 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2. And repeat 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of 3 double crochets with chain 2s in between. We're going to join to our chain 3 with a slip stitch. And we're going to slip stitch in these next 2 double crochets. We're going to slip stitch in the chain 2 space and chain 3. Okay, now at this point I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to gently pull on that string, and we're going to go ahead and weave this end in. There we go. We'll just go back and forth, weaving it in. Then we don't have to worry about it later. Alrighty, grab those scissors. Whoops. Alrighty. So now, for row 1, we have 4 sets of 3 double crochets with chain 2s in our 4 corners. We slip stitch to our chain 2 space and chain 3. All right, now we're ready for row 2. Our chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. So we're going to stitch 2 more, 1 and 2, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets in that chain 2 space. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to chain 2, and now we'll go over to our next chain 2 space. We'll stitch 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2, and 3 double crochets. And chain 2. And now we're just going to repeat what we did here in these last 2 corners. 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And chain 2. Our last corner, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. And again, I'm sorry about my voice. It's a little bit cracky. I feel better. My voice just doesn't know that. Still a little nasal. Alrighty. So we have 4 corners. Each one has 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, chain 2. Here's our last chain 2. So we're going to join to that first chain 3 with a slip stitch. We're going to slip stitch in those next 2 stitches. And then slip stitch in that chain 1 space. And chain 3. All right, so now we have completed row 2. We have our 4 corners that have 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochets, and then chain 2s on the sides. We slip stitch to the chain 2 space and chain 3. All right, let's do our 3rd row. So we've chained 3, that counts as our first double crochet. We're going to double crochet 2 more times, chain 2, and 3 double crochets in that corner. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to chain 2. We're going to go to this chain 2 space and stitch 3 double crochets. 1, oops, there we go. 2, and 3, and chain 2. Then we'll go to the next corner and stitch it the same. 3 double crochets, 2, and 3, chain 2, and 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 2, and we'll go to that chain 2 space and stitch 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And chain 2. And see, we're basically just making a regular granny square for the first 3 rows. And so what we did here, we'll repeat on these next 2 sides. So I have completed row 3, and like I said, it's just a basic granny square. If you want your squares to be bigger, you can make them bigger. Just continue on around until it's as big as you would like it to be. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut my yarn because we're going to be changing to our sort of rusty red orange yarn. Okay, now before we do that, I want to show you my graph here that I made. I guess it's more of a picture that I made in order to help us understand where we're going to be putting our stitches for our leaf here. Okay, now we'll single crochet to here, and I'll do that together with you and show you. But just so you understand, when we get to here, we're going to do a long stitch to here, then we'll do a long stitch to number 2, then a long stitch to number 3, a long stitch to number 4, and a long stitch to number 5. Okay, now this picture is on the blog that I have the written pattern on also, if you want to see that as well. But I wanted to show you this so you get an understanding of what we're doing. Okay, all right, so move that one out of the way. We're going to change to our second color, and it's really important to use 2 colors, whatever colors you choose, because that's what makes the leaf stand out. If it's the same color as, like if I did it in this khaki, it would look pretty, but it just wouldn't show up. Okay? All right, so what we're going to do is in this first chain 2 space, we're going to single crochet, chain 1, and single crochet. All right, now we're going to single crochet in these next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. So we stitched a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet in that chain 2 space. Then we stitched 1 single crochet in the next 3. Now we're going to single crochet in the chain 2 space. And now we're ready to make our leaf stitch. So I want to grab this again. We're going to place our first one right there. All right. So we're going to yarn over. We're going to come down here, go through the stitch, grab that loop, pull it up. And the key to getting this right is you don't want it to pucker up, but you also don't want it to droop. All right, so yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. Now we're going to yarn over and come down here. Same thing. Yarn over and go through those first 2 loops. Now we're going to come down here on the graph. See, we're way down here. All right. Yarn over, down here. Like I said, it's something you need to practice, because if you make them too droopy, they're not going to lay pretty. But if you make them too tight, they're going to pull it up. All right, so now we're on this other side. Let's see, right there. Go in the wrong spot. All right, and then the last one is right here. All right. So we did a short one, a little bit longer, a longer, and back up, and that makes the leaf. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loops on our hook. You're going to yarn over, go through all of those loops, and chain 1. That's our first leaf. All right, so now we're going to go to this chain 2 space and single crochet. We're going to single crochet in those 3 double crochets. Then we'll go in that corner, single crochet, chain 1, and single crochet. And I just want you to look at that and see how pretty that is. Isn't that pretty? And if it's not laying exactly the way you want it to, sometimes you have to kind of take it and make sure that they're pointing the right direction so that it does look like a leaf. All right, now we're going to continue this way. So we'll single crochet in those 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. 1 single crochet in the chain 2 space. And now we're going to do those long double crochets. So 1 goes here. One goes here. All the way down for that leaf, the leaf point. Let's see, 1, 2, there we go. Nope, I put that in the wrong spot, didn't I? There we go. Got to put it in the right spot or it's not going to lay right. All right, and then up here. There we go. And then yarn over and go through all of those loops and chain 1. Then we'll single crochet in the chain 2 space and single crochet in those 3 single crochets. Then single crochet, chain 1, and single crochet. All right, so now I've done my second leaf. And sometimes I'll take my needle and try to make sure that I'm getting that nice point. And if they're too loose like that, we can pull them in the back a little bit, because I did that one just a little bit looser than I did this one. Okay, but that's our leaf. All right, and now we're going to do the next one. Single crochet in those 3. Single crochet in the chain 2 space. All right, let's do our next leaf. There we go. And one more. There we go. And we'll yarn over and go through all of those loops and chain 1. And I did that one a little bit better. This one's a little bit loose. I'm going to go in and fix that one, but this one is laying a little bit better. You don't want it drooping like I have this one, and you don't want it pulling either. All right. So I'm going to go back and fix this one, and then I'll finish around. So now they look a little bit better. I snugged up these a little bit. They were a little bit loose, and that happens. You just have to practice. Even someone like me who's been doing this for a long time, I still have to practice as well. All right, so let's do our last leaf. Yarn over. We're going to go in here. Then we'll go to the next one. Then the long one. go. There we go. Now we have 4 leaf clusters. Then we'll single crochet, that chain 2 space, and then in those 3 double crochets. Alrighty, now we're going to join to that first one. There we go. We're done. But I'm going to pull that loop to the back so we have a nice finish. And yes, I have a little weaving in to do. And also, if they're not laying exactly perfect, you can always block them if you want to. I just didn't block mine. I didn't care if they were perfect. So here is my completed 4x4 inch coaster. Perfect for a coaster. But these are also great for lots of other projects that you want to do. If you want to just hook them together, you could make a headband, you could make a bag, lots of different things that you could make, a scarf, just so many different things you could make with our granny leaf cluster square. And they're a lot of fun. And please don't get frustrated if your leaves don't lay perfect the first time. I mean, you saw right there in the video, I had to redo that one side because I hadn't pulled my stitches tight enough. And so it's just kind of practice in order to get them to lay right, okay? But they make beautiful, beautiful fall coasters and lots of other things. Oh, a table runner would be beautiful with these. Just so many different things that you could make with this simple 4x4 inch leaf cluster granny square. So I hope you'll have fun with it. And that's our Friday Fun Day for this week.